Mosul is a city of normally about 2.5 million people in northern Iraq, occupied since the 10th of June 2014 by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. Located some 400 kilometers north of Baghdad, the original city stands on the west bank of the Tigris River, opposite the ancient Assyrian city of Nineveh on the east bank, but the metropolitan area has grown to encompass substantial areas on both the left coast and the right coast, as the two banks are described in the local language. In the early 21st century, the majority of Mosul's population is Arab, Assyrian, with Iraqi Turkmen, Yazidis, Armenian, Shabaki, and other minorities. The city's population grew rapidly around the turn of the millennium and by 2004 was estimated to be 1,846,500. An estimated 500,000 persons fled Mosul in the second half of 2014, and while some returned, more fled in 2015 as ISIL violence in the city worsened. Historically, an important product of the area is Mosul marble and oil. The city of Mosul is home to the University of Mosul and its renowned medical college, which together was one of the largest educational and research centers in Iraq in the Middle East. The university has since been closed, but at the choice of the Islamic State's leadership in Mosul, the medical college remains open but barely functional. Until 2014, the city was a historic center for the Assyrian Church of the East of the indigenous Assyrians, containing the tombs of several Old Testament prophets such as Jonah, which was destroyed by the Islamic State occupation army in July 2014. Etymology. The name of the city is first mentioned by Xenophon in his expeditionary logs in Achaemenid Assyria of 401 BC. During the reign of the Persian Achaemenid dynasty in this region, there, he notes a small Assyrian town of Mepsila on the Tigris, somewhere about where modern Mosul is today. It may be safer to identify Xenophon's Mepsila with the site of Iski Mosul, or Old Mosul, about 30 kilometers north of modern Mosul, where 6 centuries after Xenophon's report, the Sasanian Persian center of Budhr was built. Be that as it may, the name Mepsila is doubtless the root for the modern name. In its current Arabic form and spelling, the term Mosul, or rather Mosul, stands for the linking point, or loosely, the junction city. In Arabic, Mosul should not be confused with the ancient Assyrian capital of Nineveh, which is located across the Tigris from Mosul on the eastern bank, at the famed archaeological mound of Kuyunjik. This area is known today as the town of Nebi Yunus and is populated largely by Kurds, which makes it the only fully Kurdish neighborhood in Mosul. The site contains the tomb of the biblical Jonah, as he lived and died there, in the then capital of ancient Assyria. Today, this entire area has been absorbed into the Mosul metropolitan area. The indigenous Assyrians still refer to the entire city of Mosul as Nineveh. The ancient Nineveh gave its place to Mepsila after the fall of the Assyrian Empire between 612–599 BC at the hands of a coalition of Babylonians, Medes, Persians, Scythians, Sagartians, the Assyrians largely abandoning the city and building new settlements such as Mepsila nearby. Mosul is also named Al-Fiha, Al-Qadra and Al-Hadbar. It is sometimes described as the Pearl of the North and the City of a Million Soldiers.